Smoking chickens and turkeys isn't very hard, and honestly, it's really good. In today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it step by step so that you can produce a delicious, tender bird right at home every single time. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dishes and Fishes where I show you how to cook and set hooks. The secret to a delicious bird, chicken or turkey, is brining it. Let's talk about brine. So in order to brine this bird, we are going to need this 4-quart container. I would highly recommend buying one of these just for the purpose of smoking chickens. And we are going to need 2 quarts of water total to cover this chicken. So in a small sauce pot, I'm gonna put 1 quart of water and the ingredients for 2 quarts. You'll see why in a second. Now when it comes to brine ingredients, you can go crazy, but I don't like to go to the grocery store every time I want to smoke a chicken. So this brine is sort of like a quick brine with things that I have laying around in my house often, and it'll work just fine. I have a top secret, really delicious brine recipe that I stole from a chef years ago. Shout out Roger, thank you for this. But I don't make it too often because it's literally like 20 ingredients, but it is so good. If you feel like making it, I'll put it in the description. So the foundational ingredients of a good brine are sugar and salt. And the ratio of water, salt to sugar is 4 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. It's always half the sugar as salt. In addition to salt and sugar, I like to use an acid. Lemon juice, I think, is the best acid. You could also use apple cider vinegar, or if you're doing like an Asian thing, you could do some type of like mirin or something. But honestly, that's all you need to make a brine, but other things can make it a little bit better. Another thing that I like to add each time I make brine is peppercorns. Some sort of aromatic, ginger, onion, garlic, shallot, whatever you have laying on deck. Today I have onions, and then some sort of herbs, dried or fresh. Today I'm using dried Greek Freak seasoning. So once my 1 quart of water has reached a simmer, I'm simply going to add all my brine ingredients until the sugar and salt completely dissolve. Take it off the heat, and then I'm gonna combine it with 1 quart of ice or 1 quart of cold water. That's going to give me my 2 quarts total that I need to brine my chicken. Now let's talk chicken. This chicken was $6 at Costco, by the way. All you need to break down this chicken is a good pair of kitchen shears. You can use a knife for sure, but kitchen shears is gonna be way easier. So for those of you who are not chicken proficient, this is the breast side. We're gonna flip this bird over and we're going to remove the back of the chicken, the spine. This is the neck of the chicken, and this is the tail of the chicken. So I'm actually gonna cut 2 lines on either side of the spine of this chicken, one on this side, and then one on the opposite side. And once I have that done, I can just remove the spine. You can save this to make chicken stock, and if you wanna learn how to make chicken stock, I will tag my video where I show you how to make that here. Now we're gonna spatchcock this chicken, which I think is the best way to smoke a chicken because it saves you some time, and it also gives you just a nice big product to carve. It looks nice. And in order to spatchcock this chicken, once you remove the spine, we need to flip it back over and give this bird chest compressions. Just kidding. I've been watching a lot of that show, The Pit, though, on HBO. Shout out Pittsburgh. Don't give it chest compressions. Just crack through the breastbone with 1 push. And I happened to close my dishwasher at the same time as I cracked this breastbone, so it didn't make that big of a sound, but it sounded pretty epic. And then it's done. It's spatchcocked. And the last thing that you want to do is just trim up any of this excess fat. On the back of the chicken thighs tends to be this little flap of fat hanging there. I like to trim that up and then remove any feathers, and you're good to go. I'm gonna put that chicken in my container. The 2 quarts of brine should be plenty to cover it. If you have excess brine, just drain a little bit of it and it'll be all good. Make sure the whole bird is covered in brine and you are set. 6 to 12 hours later, I'm gonna remove my chicken from the fridge. You can do this all in one day. And I'm gonna give it a good rinse in my sink just to get rid of any salty spots that might be on the skin. Once it's good and rinsed, I'm gonna put it on a sheet tray on a wire rack. Wire rack is key for airflow. I'm gonna pat it dry with some paper towels, just roughly, but I'm gonna put it in my fridge uncovered overnight on the bottom shelf and allow that skin to just completely dry out overnight. The next morning, I'll take that chicken out. As you can see, the skin has dried up nicely. Now it's time to give this chicken a rub down. So these are 3 rubs that I like to use. The honey habanero is kind of sweet. The Greek Freak is good for like an Italian generic one. I also like the Spiceology Tennessee Smoke, but I don't have any more of it right now. But my favorite rub to use is actually this Lowry's chicken and poultry rub, especially this time of year in the fall. It's just like a chicken It's chicken in a rub. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's really good. I'm gonna start by seasoning the inside cavity of the bird first, then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna season the top side really good. Make sure to season this thing very thoroughly. And that's it. So a couple things you'll notice about my smoker setup, guys. I'm not using a water pan for a smoked chicken. I want my cooking environment to be dry so I can get that nice crispy skin. You've probably seen me use a water pan in a number of my other videos, ribs, beef, but not for a chicken. The other thing is I have my usual charcoal ring set up down here. You'll notice that I kind of backloaded the amount of charcoal, so I have just a tiny little bit in the beginning, my usual 2 to 3 chunks per inch. And at the end of my ring, I piled up a lot. That's because I want this chicken to cook slow. And by the end, I want the heat to jack up a little bit so I can get that crispy skin rendered. So at the end of my ring, I have more charcoal. And my last little tip here is I want the breast away from the coals. So I have the coals going here and the dark meat is towards the coals. Now, another thing that people talk about is the temperature control when you smoke a chicken. There's some people that once the breast meat cooks, they cut the breast off and then they leave the dark meat for a little bit longer. I'm here to tell you today, it doesn't matter with this because the meat is so juicy that it's really hard to overcook when you brine a chicken this way. So personally, I like to put the probe in the breast meat. I think this is one of the few times that breast meat is actually good when you smoke it like this. Most of the time I prefer dark meat, but it's really, really hard to overcook dark meat on a smoker, but you can overcook the breast. Now the breast is going to cook a little bit faster than the dark meat, but that's why we positioned it the way we did on the smoker. It's okay if that breast hits 170, 175 even. I promise you it'll still be juicy. Unless you're planning on removing the breast from the smoker, it's probably gonna happen. And you're looking for that dark meat to be 165, 175, even 180 is okay. As long as they're both above 165, let them rest for an hour before you carve them, and I promise you they'll all still be juicy. But you can see this bird is crispy, it smells delicious, it's got a beautiful color. This is top quality smoked meat. Listen to that crisp on that skin. This time of year, I love serving smoked chicken with some butternut squash, some sort of starch, and whenever I smoke meat, I always serve it with some pickled vegetables. And this is also how I like to carve birds. First thing, I'll remove the leg quarters from the birds. They should just pull right off. If they don't, just slice them with your knife gently and they'll pop right off. Then I like to flip the breasts over, and I like to just manually pull the bones out of the bottom with my hands. I like to do that as opposed to like scooping the meat out with a knife because I feel like it wastes less of the meat. And once you remove the bones, you can just carve that and serve it like you would any other chicken breast. Look at how juicy that chicken breast is. Man. So that's it, guys. $6 for a chicken, and all the ingredients I had for this were laying around at my house. Really, really easy. I hope you make this soon. You will impress your guests. And also, Thanksgiving's coming up. Try this with your Thanksgiving turkeys. Thank me later. If you learned something from this video, consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you in the next episode.